Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. I hope you're well. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Fenty Beauty Cream bronzers and cream blush. I'm going to go through the shades I picked up as well as swatches, prices, and also how much product you get in each compact. And I'm also going to be doing an extra review on the Illamasqua cream highlighter, which I picked up from TK Maxx. This usually retails for £25 and I picked it up for £5.99, and it is a cream product, so I thought why not put it into this review with the bronzer and the blushes and see how it sits on the skin. I did pick it up 2 weeks ago, so I'm not sure if it'll still be available, but I will still link it below just in case anyone likes it and would like to get it from Illamasqua direct, or if you find it elsewhere. So I'll link everything below for you, and let's get into it. I have a full face on, but I haven't set my actual foundation yet. So the foundation is still sort of, it's dried down, but it's not been set with powder. And then I've done my eyes and my lips and my eyebrows. So I can go straight in with the cream products and see how it looks all together. First thing I'm going to be reviewing is the Fenty Beauty Cream bronzers. I picked these up in 2 shades because when I was doing my research on YouTube, I'd noticed that a lot of people with a similar skin tone to me picked these 2 shades up. So I thought, why not? They both will have their sort of separate uses, because you'll see in the swatches and on screen that one is slightly more cool toned than the other. So the first one here is 01 in the shade Amber, and this one is 02 in the shade Butter Biscuit. So as you can see, Amber is a lot cooler toned and Butter Biscuit is a lot warmer. So I will be using this one as the contour shade and this one as my actual bronzer, just to warm up the skin. In terms of how much product you get in each compact, they retail for £28 and they have 6.23 grams in each compact, which I think is a pretty good size for a cream product. Creams typically will last longer because they don't get fallout, so you're not losing a lot of the product just off application in terms of putting the product onto the brush. So I do find they tend to last a lot longer for me, so 6.23 grams is quite a lot of product. So first we're going in with the shade 01 Amber, and I'm just going to apply a bit on my brush. It doesn't look like a lot is coming off on the brush, but in the pan you can see it's made quite an imprint. Okay, so it's quite sort of light. It's not you have to sort of really work it into the pan to get some product onto your brush. Oh, that's better. Oh wow. It doesn't look like it's doing a lot from this angle, but when you look forward, can you see it's created such a shadow on the skin? But you can't necessarily see it so much. I think it's just where the colour is so cool toned from sort of front on. You can see it's almost created the illusion that sort of my cheekbone sits higher. I really like the shade. I thought it was going to be literally grey on the skin, so I wasn't too sure how I was going to sort of feel about it. And it just glides on so easily. Like, I haven't even had to do a lot to it. And I am also going to take this up onto my temples. Just to add a little bit. Of a shadow. I really like that. It doesn't look like I've done much because it's not like, it's not crazy pigmented, which I quite like. I like that it's buildable and that it's not sort of putting too much product back onto the skin. You can just work it up, and this brush works really nicely with it. So this is my Peaches and Cream brush in PC25, and I find this is really blending it in. Cool. I really like how that's turned out. I think it's quite a nice shade. But now I'm going to go in and warm up the skin, and for this one I'm actually going to go in with my Duo Fiber stippling brush, and I'm going to try and use a circular motion with this one. Okay. I'm so used to the Chanel Soleil Tender Chanel, and it has a lot of pigment, I find, so you might dip into it and it disperses quite a lot of product onto the brush and back onto the skin as well upon application. And I find this is just, it looks like a lot, but it's not actually putting a lot onto the skin, which is quite nice because I'm going so sort of light-handed with this, just from experience with the Chanel Soleil Tender Chanel. But actually this is far more buildable, whereas that, it just puts so much product on the skin that you really do have to blend it out. But this is just so effortless. I'm barely having to blend it out at all. She's really just sort of like, she's really just aced it. Like that, it was literally a couple of swipes, and it's just on my skin, which I just love. And it doesn't look, I'm going to get a bit closer and just sort of see how it's looking on the skin. Okay, so, excuse my mirror, it's really dirty. So I'm just going to get a bit closer, so excuse the sort of like oiliness, because I did the foundation but I didn't set it because I knew I was putting on a cream product. So I'm a little bit oily. I don't want to, what's another word for crevices? It just sounds disgusting, doesn't it? But yeah, in those like creases I'm oily. So you can see it's definitely got a bit of a sheen to the skin, but that's natural with a product that is cream and obviously more of a liquidy texture. But I don't find it's enlarging my pores at all, which is quite good. I mean, I've always sort of had sort of medium pores, sort of normal, but I don't find it's enlarging those at all, and I don't feel like it looks like cakey or patchy or anything. I really like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you tried it? How did it sit on your skin? I do have, for reference, I have combination skin, so I get quite dry on my eyelids. I have a little bit of eczema and psoriasis, and I get a little bit dry sort of on my neck and around my nose. But otherwise, in terms of like my forehead and my cheeks and my chin and my nose, I'm quite oily. And it is sitting quite nicely on the skin. So once I've done all of the cream products, I will be going in to set the face with a powder just to see how it all looks. The next thing I'm going to go in with is the Petal Poppin blush. This is absolutely gorgeous, such a cute shade, and the packaging, how adorable is that? Like, it's absolutely tiny compared to the bronzer, but it's super cute, super easy to travel with as well at that size. So you get 3 grams in the blush and it retails for £19. And I got my shade in Petal Poppin 02. So for blush, I am going to use another one of my Peaches and Cream brushes, and this is the PC15. And I'm just going to tap it in and apply it onto my apples. That is really nice. So it's quite subtle. I don't like to go too heavy with blush. I'm definitely more of a sort of bronzing type of girl. I don't like to go too sort of pink on my cheeks. But I was a little bit unsure with the shades because some of them looked like they might have looked a little bit too apricot-y on me, and some of them were sort of more of the red undertone, and I didn't want anything that's going to sort of counteract my like rosacea. So I thought I'd be better off going with this sort of peachy pinky colour, and I quite like it. I don't know how it's sort of paying off on camera. It definitely looks quite pink in the mirror, but on the viewfinder it's showing off a little bit sort of more muted. It's showing off a bit more corally than pink, but I really do like this shade. And I also found quite a few reviews on the Fenty Beauty blushes, and a lot of people with my similar skin tone bought this shade as well as the contour shades, so I thought that's sort of what I was going off rather than the swatches online. And I've also just put it on my nose as well, in case anyone was wondering. I like to make it look like the sun has sort of hit me a little bit on the nose. And I'm just going to go back in with my Duro Fiber brush and just merge the two together a little bit. Oh my god, I love these. Wow, these look so nice. And they don't feel tacky on the skin, like they just feel, it just feels like my skin, it just feels warm, it doesn't feel wet, it doesn't feel oily or anything. And they do still sort of keep a little bit of a radiance to the skin. So now I'm going to go in with my Illamasqua cream highlight. This is in the shade Gleam, and you get 6.5 grams in here, so you actually get a little bit more than what is in the Fenty Beauty bronzer compacts, and this retails for 25. And you know what, this is actually the first Illamasqua product I've ever tried. I've never tried anything. I've really been intrigued to try their skin like foundation, their really light coverage one, but I've just never bought it, so we'll see what I think about this and see if I get any more products from them. So I'm just dipping it in. I'm trying to get a nice amount because I found with the Fenty Beauty stuff that you had to sort of work it into the compact quite a lot just to get some on the brush and to get a decent colour payoff. And I'm just going to apply this on the high points. Oh, you can see that. Oh, how stunning is that? That's really nice. So it just gives you sort of a wet look to the skin, which I'm really enjoying at the minute actually. I don't like to wear too much sort of like heavy products, so I do tend to prefer a cream product over powder, unless I'm sort of setting my face. Otherwise I don't really use powder products. I'm just going to put a little bit on my nose just to, and maybe here. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I really like that. I think that is so nice. And they only had one shade in TK Maxx because I presume it's either discontinued or it might be old stock. I don't really know how the TK Maxx stuff works because they always have stuff in there that's a really good price. But I really like that colour, so I don't know what shades they come in. But I'll see if I can find like a swatch picture if they have got other shades so that I can show you in comparison to the rest in their collection. Next I'm going to go in with a little bit of setting powder, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face where I hadn't set it before because your girl's oily and I can definitely see it. So I just need to set under my eyes and my forehead and everything just so I'm not looking so oily and shiny. Okay. I think that looks really nice. I feel like I need to go back in with a little bit of blush because where I've sort of powdered, I feel like it's diffused it a little bit where I've gone under with that brush. So I'm just going to put, yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit extra on. Stunning. Okay, I really like this. I think you can tell because I'm just literally putting so much on. Yeah, I really like this. Let me know your thoughts. If you have got a similar skin tone, please do comment below what other shades you've picked up or tried, so that I can also sort of go off your recommendations and try those shades out too, because like in comparison to my Chanel bronzer, I've got the Chanel Soleil Tender Chanel cream bronzer, I've got the NARS cream bronzer, I've also tried like the ELF putty bronzers, I think they are. I think they've brought out a new formula now, but I've tried those out before. I feel like Fenty Beauty has just hit the nail on the head with the shade range. I feel like there's a colour for everyone, there's an undertone for everyone, it just works. I really like the colour shade in these. I also really like the formulation. It just feels really creamy. It doesn't feel dry. It's buildable, which I absolutely love. These are going to be perfect for my freelance kit. I love stuff that's buildable. I did find with the Chanel and the NARS Laguna Cream bronzers, I just found they had almost too much colour payoff. And when working with clients, you obviously have different skin types, and if it clings to the skin more than other skin types, so you don't want to be going in too heavy-handed, but also some of that can just be that there's just so much product that is transferred to the brush just upon the lightest swipe. Whereas I find, although yes, I had to go into these quite a lot, I didn't find it annoying. I actually really appreciate that they are buildable, because you can work it up to how you want it, and especially if you're using fingers. Naturally, using hands for putting makeup on, the warmth of your skin will naturally adhere to the product a lot more, and you would pick up a lot more. So I think they'll work really well with using your hands to apply the blush in particular. I think it will just work really nicely. So yeah, I'm super happy with these products. I couldn't recommend them enough if you are someone that hasn't tried them yet and you have tried the other products that I've mentioned that I've used before in terms of bronzers. I've never used a cream blush ever. I know there's been quite a few of them on the market in terms of like the squeezy tube type things. I really want to try the iconic London ones, but I'm just not sure about the whole squeezy tube thing. I just find you put a blob down and the brush just picks up so much of it, and I find it really hard to diffuse it. I did once try the NARS Orgasm blush on my hand in store, and I put it I used like a brush to apply it and everything, and it just seemed like it was just a lot. So at the minute I currently use the Charlotte Tilbury powder blushes, and I absolutely love them. Again, buildable product, stunning on the skin. But saying that, I'm completely transformed to the Fenty Cream blushes. I absolutely love this. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you for listening to me rambling on, and I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you